Oklahoma's prison system is currently housing 28,652 inmates, the largest number in state history, and there is no more room. New legislation has been introduced to try and reduce the prison population after efforts to ease overcrowding stagnated 3 years ago.
Oklahoma state prisons are places where inmates bide their time in lines for food and medicine. Their beds are crammed in every available space because the Oklahoma Department of Corrections is at 119% capacity. Oklahoma's tough-on-crime philosophy is not working, according to former Speaker of the House, Kris Steele.
We are incarcerating more people than we ever have in the history of the state of Oklahoma. We're spending more for corrections, for incarceration than we ever have in the state of Oklahoma in the name of public safety, and it's not doing a bit of good.
Steele was one of several speakers at a Capitol forum calling for the end of mass incarcerations in Oklahoma.
Oklahoma's violent crime rate, ladies and gentlemen, is 20% higher than the national average. And I just want to say that in the last 10 years, in this period of time, 38 states across the nation have experienced a decrease in their crime rate.
He attempted to reform the prison system with passage of the Justice Reinvestment Initiative in 2012, but the law largely went unimplemented. Steele is now advocating for corrections legislation proposed this session.
Folks, I want to tell you what we need in Oklahoma is sentencing reform. But House Bill 1518 is definitely a great start and a step in the right direction.
House Bill 1518 concerns the 85% rule. The bill would allow inmates incarcerated under that rule to begin earning credits toward their release the minute they're locked up, instead of after serving 85% of their sentence. Steele says passing House Bill 2168 is also important.
It restores the ability for ex-offenders to work in about 10 different professions in the state of Oklahoma that they're currently excluded from working in.
Those released from prison already face many roadblocks when it comes to finding work.
Before I started doing drugs, I was a truck driver, and I drove trucks, local deliveries, but since I've got out, I'm not on drugs anymore, but I don't have my license anymore, so I can't get a good job.
Jeff Johnson is working for the Center for Employment Opportunities, or CEO. The nonprofit organization has offices in Tulsa and Oklahoma City. Kelly Doyle is the executive director.
If we can engage them in employment, the likelihood of them returning to prison is significantly lower.
Since 2011, CEO has put more than 500 felons to work. Montrell Flowers is one of its success stories. For more than a year, he has held a full-time job at Merritt's Bakery, where he packages baked goods. Flowers says his job is fun and has given him the self-esteem to change his life.
How do you feel about yourself?
I feel great. I really do. I feel good that I could keep money in my pocket now. I can go places. I can do things.
But landing the job took determination. He began, as all in the program do, by attending a 4-day life skills class.
So tell me, how many of you have been looking for a job since you got out? Right? Pretty hard? So you're putting a lot of effort into it. What's your experience been like? Horrible? Turn downs?
Those enrolled in the program earn a modest income from CEO, doing work like this, cleaning of a city park in Sand Springs. Time is also set aside to receive coaching.
So when I came, they showed me a lot of things, how to go on interviews, how to dress, how to speak, it showed me a lot of things. They opened the door for me to get out here and make myself better, and they have.
Bar none.
Supervisors determine when and if participants are work-worthy for a company that will consider hiring a felon.
So typically we're placing individuals in entry-level jobs. Our average wage right now is $9.30, which is well above the minimum wage.
Kelly Doyle says keeping people out of prison and in the workforce only makes sense.
We would like lawmakers to invest in the work that we're doing. We know that we're saving the state $3.30 for every dollar that's invested in our program.
We would invest more in prevention, treatment, education.
Steele is now the executive director of the Education and Employment Ministry, which also helps felons find jobs and get their lives back on track. He believes investing in reentry programs should be a priority for lawmakers who have seen the budget for corrections grow by 34% in the past 10 years.